10 ways to find people to play board games with. It's every board gamer's biggest bane. You get into the hobby, introduced to the best games, buy that shiny new copy of a game that you really want to play, and then you have no one to play it with. It's something we've all experienced, so I'm here with 10 ways to find people to play with. Starting off our list, local board game groups. It comes as no surprise when a hobby as popular and as sociable as board games is considered that these types of meetups start to crop up all over the place. From small informal gatherings to massive conventions or large group events, finding these meetups can be challenging, but it's made easier through the use of online sources. 2. Looking for groups. Looking for a board game group traditionally can be challenging. However, over the years, multiple forums and databases have cropped up with this in mind. A quick Google allows for access to many of these from the more formally organised groups within large cities, or the smaller, more informal meetups in local communities. These are often organised through social media, on forums, and can be accessed just through searching online. 3. Board Game Geek. Board Game Geek exists as one of the biggest databases of board game knowledge. It is therefore a regular posting ground for board game lovers, and has its own specialised forums of existing game groups, clubs, and meetups. It also allows for individuals to post as looking for a new group or to set up a new group. When you consider board games, meetup.com is not always a resource that comes to mind, but recently has experienced a rising popularity in the amount of people posting wishing to play games. Meetup.com connects you locally and allows for meetups to be organised simply and informally. It makes it easier to connect with people who you normally might not come into contact with. Many of my friends have reported success both in finding larger groups through the app or just meeting up with like-minded individuals for tentative gaming sessions that have developed into more regular meetups, with now extended friend groups. 5. Gateway games. It had to make its way into this list, really. You know the things I'm talking about. You have your Carcassonnes, those little light filler games, party games, there's a place for them in all our hearts. For the majority of us, they were probably the introduction to board games. However, these are perfect for introducing our current friend groups to the hobby. What is important when trying this method is to make sure that your friends are aware of what you're intending, and it can help to mention specifically the game that you would like to try. Sometimes you can be shut down immediately. This has definitely been the case with me and many of my friends, but more have come to love and enjoy games. I definitely recommend gateway games for the majority, as opposed to dragging someone into a 5-hour game of Food Chain Megane and then watching them leave in tears. At smaller parties or gatherings, you can often get away with seeding interest through larger party games. By this time, most people have encountered things like Cards Against Humanity or are excited to play games such as Exploding Kittens. This can be a great introduction. These, along with games with a wider player count, such as Werewolf, Avalon, or any other game that is simple and does not really require a board, can act as a smooth transition into board gaming. Introducing games such as Masquerade can really round out the experience. However, the suitability of each game is left to you. On a personal note, Werewolf has never been a bad choice for me, and has gone down well with countless groups of people. Playing online. It is of little surprise that, like many other things, board games are part of the online revolution. There are countless apps popping up and other online methods to play traditional games, such as Board Game Simulator, that can be an easy way to connect with people over a board game in a way that is not restricted by location. It is also a more solid guarantee that there is someone out there who wants to play the same game as you. Yes, I'm looking at you, Black Friday, a game I personally love and can never convince anyone to play, much to my own distress. 7. Colleges or universities. I realise this option might be slightly limiting to many, but it comes with its own advantages if you are a student of any description. Chances are someone will have had the idea to set up a board game club. This might not be too well advertised, but with a little searching, you might find some of the best like-minded friends to play games with that you have encountered. These groups are often funded by their own official bodies and will run out of campus or local cafes. These are generally very welcoming to new members. 8. This option's a bit of a wild card, and one that was suggested to me after I moved out of the city into the boons. A problem for many of us, I imagine. Magic the Gathering. CCGs are extremely popular, and whether you love them or loathe them, they do one thing solidly. They do it consistently. They regularly set up, highly regulated events, and these can be a great place to meet new people and make friends. These people generally have an interest in games, but might also feel restricted in who and when they can play. This method was actually suggested to me by a friend, so I popped along to a couple and have had a few fantastic evenings, and met many people who desire to play other games. 9. Talk to everyone. I'm serious. You'll be surprised at who you find who is at least willing to give something a shot. Just make sure that you're trying to introduce people to something that is at least marginally accessible. Use your own judgment, but gateway games can be a great way, as mentioned earlier, to introduce people to the majority of your hobby. If they have a specific love, if they are a Firefly fan, or love the Alien and Predator franchise, maybe try and introduce them through a game that is based off this series. 10. The final option on this list is less of a how to find people to play a game and more of how to play games without people. It often passes below radar that there are many solo play games and variants. Requests for these often pop up on BoardGameGeek, Reddit, along with any other forum that you might follow, and they are a great way to stave off the burning need to play a game if you cannot find people to play it. I hope this list has helped, and if you have any other great ideas for ways to find people to play games with, then please post in the comments below. Share, like, subscribe, and if you'd like to see any other videos from this channel, feel free to suggest them and I'll see what I can do.